And good evening, wrestling fans. Jimmy Gimmick here for 13th Floor Productions, N.E.W. North Wilkesboro Extreme Wrestling, and Seamus Maloney and Company's Professional Wrestling Carnival Sideshow. Up next is the main event, Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man, in the Hugo Atlas Challenge. 3 volunteers from the audience, 3 chances to take down the champion, and 3 times the excitement coming your way. Today's referee, the talented and charismatic Mike Farley. Hugo Atlas performing various feats of strength earlier on the fairgrounds today. Let's take a look. Hugo Atlas now arm wrestling with Big Daddy Flip here. Looks like Hugo Atlas taking it easy. And that's Big Daddy Flip, the N.E.W. World Heavyweight Champion. Hugo Atlas now yawning here. And now I think he's going to put him away. Yes, indeed. There he goes. My goodness, maybe Hugo Atlas is the world's strongest man. Hugo Atlas giving a forecast of tonight's events to some young wrestling fan. As everybody's heard, Hugo Atlas is going to pull 3 volunteers out of the audience for tonight's main event. He's going to take them on one at a time. But for now, I think he's going to do another feat of strength. He's got that big chain. I think he's going to hand it over to some of these young wrestling fans for inspection. They're going to look at it closely and make sure it's a normal chain in all respects. It looks like a normal chain to me, and this young man sure seems satisfied. He's going to hand it back to Hugo Atlas. And if I know Atlas, he's going to break that chain to prove to everyone here that he is indeed the world's strongest man. One more moment to pose for the newspapers. And here he goes. My goodness, what an amazing feat of strength. What's he gonna do next? Now Hugo Atlas with a big steel crowbar, what's he gonna do with it? These young wrestling fans are on the edge of their seats. My goodness, he's done it. He's bent that steel crowbar. Perhaps Hugo Atlas is indeed the world's strongest man. Last test of strength, he's going to pick up this barbell. It's got 900 pounds on each side. That's a total of 1,800 pounds, my goodness. If he manages to pick this up, it'll truly be a feat of superhuman strength. So far, so good. He's got it deadlifted, but I don't think he's going to stop there. Truly an amazing display of superhuman strength. I sure wouldn't want to be one of those 3 volunteers in the main event match tonight. First he broke that solid steel chain, then he bent that heavy steel crowbar, and now he's lifted up 1,800 pounds over his head. Wait a minute, who's this? What's going on here? Some little kids come up and let the cat out of the bag here. It was all a ruse. That barbell didn't weigh 1,800 pounds at all. It all turned out to be a big sham. Hugo Atlas caught red-handed, and the crowd couldn't be more pleased. So Hugo Atlas caught trying to pull one over on the crowd, and you can bet your bottom dollar that he's going to take out his frustrations on these 3 volunteers. And we'll get started right after these messages. There he is, Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man. He might also be the world's most belligerent man, arguing here with these wrestling fans. After today's embarrassment with the barbells, he swore that he was going to enact his revenge and show everyone here that he truly is the world's strongest man. I don't know if that claim is true, but without a doubt he's one big bruiser, and I sure wouldn't want to be one of these 3 volunteers. Taking a moment to pose for a few photos, Hugo Atlas now making his way into the ring. And he's got a microphone, so it looks like he's going to address the crowd. Let's hear what he has to say.
I am the world's strongest man, Hugo Atlas. And tonight, It's the Hugo Atlas Challenge! Tonight, Hugo Atlas fight any 3 volunteers! Come on, who wants to volunteer? Who wants to take on Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man? Anyone? Anyone? You there? Yeah, you, stand up! So you want to take on Hugo Atlas, huh? Come up here, you're the first! Now who's next? Who has the courage to step into the ring with Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man? Doesn't anyone have the guts? Oh yes, you! Come on up here!
It looks like Hugo Atlas has found 2 volunteers. He only needs 1 more.
Stand here! Here we go, there's 1 more! Come on up here!
My goodness, the first 2 guys had a little muscle, but this guy needs to take some vitamins. Seriously, N.E.W. should think twice about letting this guy get in the ring. He's liable to get hurt. He looked really reluctant, but some lady was back there urging him on. It looked like it might have been his mother or his grandmother. A few minutes to think it over as the first volunteer makes his way to the ring. Corey Adkins, I'm reading here, is his name. He's a local boy from Boomer, North Carolina, and he looks pretty stout, so Hugo Atlas might find this harder than he expected. As the bell rings, here comes Hugo Atlas. He grabs a hold of Adkins and slings him down to the canvas. It's been raining all afternoon and that canvas is soaking wet, but Hugo Atlas said the show must go on. Hugo Atlas continuing to punish this Corey Adkins. Now it's going to be an Irish whip, Adkins across the ring, and Hugo Atlas with a big clothesline, sending Corey Adkins crashing into the canvas. That's it for Corey Adkins, volunteer number 1. Adkins was brave for even giving it a shot, but he certainly wasn't a match for Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man.
Who's next? Come on, come on!
And here comes the next volunteer. I'm reading his name here, Dylan Crane, from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, right here in town. And this kid looks really ripped. Hugo Atlas might find this harder than he anticipated. But he's calling for the bell here, and there it is, the second match has started. What's this kid's strategy here? He's going to walk up with Hugo Atlas. Hugo Atlas giving him a push, but he's going to push back. And it's Hugo Atlas with a big body slam, sending Dylan Crane crashing into this wet canvas. But this kid still has some fight left in him. He's back up on his feet, but it's a big elbow. Crane once again crashing to the canvas. That third volunteer is starting to back out here as Hugo Atlas moves in for the kill. Now he's got Crane back on his feet, and he's picking him up in a big suplex, crashing into the canvas. That's got to be it for Dylan Crane. And match 2 is over. Hugo Atlas is the victor, but you got to give some credit to this Dylan Crane for even getting in the ring with this Goliath, and it looks like they've managed to get that third volunteer back up to ringside. I'm reading here that his name is Mark Barker, another local, and that was indeed his grandmother that got him into this, and he's reluctantly making his way into the ring now. I hate to say it, but this guy's skin and bones. He doesn't stand much of a chance. I hope he signs some kind of waiver. Hugo Atlas is probably going to pulverize him.
You stay out of this, Granny!
There's the bell. Mark Barker from behind. Schoolboy. Referee's in for the count. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Mark Barker has defeated Hugo Atlas, the world's strongest man. My goodness. I can't believe this. Mark Barker won the match. I thought he'd be lucky to survive it. This just goes to prove that it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
That was crazy! What a rip-off! I'm still the strongest man!
So it looks like the underdog came out on top. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.